All right. What is going on, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me and everything. As you can see, I got a little bit of a different setup today, actually. Figured out I could put my camera up here. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. But I figured since I'm going to be doing a lot of looking at the computer screen today, it'd be nice to not be looking like to the side the entire time. So that's what we're doing. You get a new view of the room, I guess. You can see we got a second desk back here that y'all have never seen because that's cut off from my normal view. So yeah, fun stuff going on here. But obviously, a lot of stuff to talk about today. Some big news in the credit card world, the points and miles world, about Hyatt. And I know it's maybe not breaking news because this happened, like a week ago. But I have been pretty busy with a lot of stuff. And honestly, I mean, y'all could tell I haven't been able to do a live or my newsletter the past couple of weeks. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things today. I am going out of town actually this upcoming week to film some videos with somebody I'll know very well. So that's fun. But yeah, you'll see more about that in the next couple of weeks. So today, we're going to try to keep it streamlined, talking about this Hyatt stuff, but obviously, we're going to, since the solo live and I don't have a guest on, we're just going to be chatting about whatever really y'all want to. So let's kind of get into it here. Welcome in some folks. We had J Dot saying the world is ending, cooked, rip Hyatt. That's what I expect to see in this chat. Yeah, I would imagine that a lot of people are feeling that way for sure. Why is yeah, that's what I want. Okay. He said sign up times to come though, I fear. Yeah. We talked about, it's funny because we talked about, the like WTF is happening to the credit card game a couple of weeks ago at this point. And since then, and actually in that video, I never even talked about devaluations to hotel and airline programs. And now this happens the week after I post that, as well as Chase did a little small devaluation as well with their cash out opportunities, which I posted in the community feed back then, where now they're only allowing you to cash out directly to a Chase account and not to any others. So it's just stuff like that. It's just like it keeps happening, right? It keeps on happening. So let's keep moving through these here though. Clinton saying good evening. Sound is good. Thank you, dude. Brad Groover, new member. Thank you for joining, dude. He just became a YouTube member, so that's real exciting. Welcome to the Credit Club. Definitely be sure to go check out the members only videos, and in the description of those videos, you'll see all of the different perks that you have as a member. So make sure to utilize them. Brandon Ross, speaking of channel members, saying Chase is giving me a lot of reasons not to jump into the UR ecosystem. Yeah, I think that's a very reasonable thing to be feeling right now, for sure. John Cutter, another channel member, saying the Hyatt man himself. We've been waiting. Yeah, I've kind of formulated, a decent amount of my thoughts on this topic. Still wanted to keep it, kind of fresh, and I haven't done a ton of research on it until recently, so that my feelings are kind of raw about it. So we can talk about it from, that perspective. But we'll get into it, of course. Brandon Ross saying, granted, this was Hyatt's doing, but certainly hurts Chase. Yeah, exactly. That's why the thumbnail of this live stream, I included both the Chase and Bilt logos, because that's a big thing that, is kind of like a side story to this entire news that was released, is that Chase and Bilt, obviously one of their most competitive, if not their most competitive transfer partners, was Hyatt, or is Hyatt, I guess, technically still. But with this news, that, is brought into question a bit more, right? Yeah, G Soul will definitely be talking about what this means for Chase and Bilt. RK said rip. Cooj said dude, WTF. Yep. He said he just got the preferred card yesterday. Yeah, it's pretty tough timing. I mean, I guess this news was announced before that, but I think regardless, for you, you're not going to regret having the preferred. The points from Chase are still going to be easily utilized for high value, even with Hyatt still. Just make sure you're booking, before May if you want to lock in these good rates. Demon Master said, hello, everyone. Cadavern asking about this Saver card going cap 1 officially. I assume you maybe mean Discover. I'm not super familiar. Oh, yeah, I mean Discover, not cap 1. Yeah, I honestly don't have any opinions on this right now. I haven't done enough research to really, or like thinking on that topic, so I can't really say. But yeah, I guess I'm not going to comment on that right now. Demon Master said, well, folks, I guess we might see a mass exodus from Chase due to Hyatt being devalued. It's funny because this is like, a lot of people in the comments are always talking about the one thing that keeps Chase competitive is their relationship with Hyatt. right? And now we see that Hyatt's getting devalued, and the question then becomes: is Chase going to be viable for a lot of people anymore, or is it going to now be more of a niche lender like some of the others have been in the past? And I don't know. I think time's going to tell, right? We don't know exactly how bad this is going to hurt. I mean, obviously, we have some numbers that we'll be bringing up on screen here in a second, but it's not good, that's for sure. And for somebody like myself who has been consistently transferring my Chase points to Hyatt, or I guess that's kind of not even true these days since I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which I also want to talk about later, how this, technically makes the Sapphire Reserve maybe a little bit better. But yeah, Bilt for sure. Like the Bilt, that's how I've been using my Bilt points is with Hyatt. So this really kind of hurts that thought process. But let's see. Stephen Baker, channel member, saying never stayed at a Hyatt before. Well, if you want to do it now. Maybe don't let yourself know what the good life is of a Hyatt though. Clinton said previously burned 15,000 Chase points for a Hyatt stay. Next week could be one of the last if the prices jump too much. Yeah, I mean, theoretically though, you can book all of your Hyatt trips now before May, whenever these changes go into effect. And no matter when that stay is, you're not going to be charged extra after you book. So get your plans in order now, people. Get your 2026, 2027 plans all outlined so you can make your redemptions. That's something that I need to do, honestly. Daniel said, hey, Spencer, let me know what's going on. I'll be listening while studying for my calc midterm tomorrow. Oof, I remember those days. I don't miss them. Yeah, I went to school for civil engineering, so a ton of calculus, a ton of different math courses. So good luck with that. I'll definitely keep you in touch with all the stuff going on with Hyatt, though. Lumen was saying, my timing on going with the $95 Marriott card over the $95 Hyatt card seems good. Definitely with that welcome offer, the boundless welcome offer is much better than the Hyatt one, or at least has been. So that was probably a good move just for that reason alone. But yeah, we're going to talk about the Hyatt card too, because that's obviously impacted by all of this. It actually might be good, to have the Hyatt card these days because of one specific new, I guess, perk that they added to it, but you're not going to be wanting to put a ton of spend on it. Travel Fan, another channel member, saying, hi, Spencer, great to see you in a live stream. Are you normally doing live streams on Wednesdays? Yes, whenever I do live streams, it'd be every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard. That's the goal. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a lot going on. So the last couple of weeks, I haven't been able to do it, just like the newsletter, which usually goes out every Friday. But we're back in the swing right now since there is some news to cover. Sorry about that. Cracking my Zevia as I do like every live stream. I need to get a sponsor from them, seriously. Jack said, once I heard about these devaluations, I booked the stays I had in mind for next year. Yep. USC Greg, I just got my Chase sign-up bonus points. Booked Park Hyatt in Tokyo at Christmas time. What timing? Yeah, great timing on that. Cooge is asking, do you think Hyatt's devaluations affect higher-end hotels or all in general? All is the short answer. Yeah. Kevin Wynn, can I DM you on Instagram? Yeah, my Instagram's at Spencer Johnson Official. You can find me there. Oh, Clinton, I forgot about DiffyQ. My God. Don't even remind me. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into just a quick article. Well, it's not really quick, but I'm going to try to make it quick about these changes. I just have an article from the Thrifty Traveler. So, there's so many articles about this stuff right now. This one was written by Jackson Newman. But this will kind of give you all a rough idea of what has been happening, and then we'll talk about how this is going to apply to each one of us. Obviously, in the live stream setting, we get to dive into your specific needs, my specific needs, what's going to change. So stay tuned for all of this. All of the headlines here, of course, are saying that Hyatt is just basically overhauling its entire reward chart and raising rates up to 67%. That 67% number is the one that everybody is talking about because, of course, that's a massive raise in prices. Massive. But that's not going to happen for every single one of them. So again, let's figure out how much this is really going to impact you. At a bottom line here, we can read from them. Hyatt is scrapping its current off-peak, standard, and peak pricing. So they have three pricing tiers right now on their award chart, which I have pulled up right here. You can see there's off-peak, standard, and peak. Points per night is dependent on that. It's always been good. Hyatt, has been predictable because there's not that many different tiers that you have to worry about. Sure, you have the standard room, club, suite, premium suite, but For the most part, we're only worried about these 3 different tiers of off-peak, standard, and peak. But now what they are changing that to is a 5-tier pricing system across its 8 existing hotel categories with a far wider range of awards rates from the slowest to the busiest times. So yeah, if we come back to this chart, they're changing from those 3 off-peak, standard, and peak to 5 lowest, low, moderate, upper, and top. And just to give you all a quick rundown of it, beforehand, let's say you're going to book I think the biggest change is going to be the category 8, right? So a off-peak, booking with a category 8 hotel was only 35,000 points. So $350 cash value worth of points. Like that's really solid, especially, with what kind of rooms you could get for that. Now that's still actually the same on the very lowest end, but it very quickly starts rising depending on the, popularity of that hotel at the time, how busy it is. And I would imagine there's not going to be very many people finding the lowest rates on most hotels. I mean, yeah, maybe a better example is to compare the moderate tier here, where it was 40,000 points on the standard before, and now it's at 55,000. So that's a pretty big increase, 15,000 points. And then obviously the big sticker number here is that peak pricing is now going to go up from 45,000 to 75,000 points per night. That's huge. That's that 67% increase that people are talking about. So basically what was a very easy to understand system and one that we could predict really well has now become more complex in favor of them being able to basically ratchet up the amount of points you have to use depending on how busy a hotel is. So a classic hotel devaluation. And I don't know at what point in the article this comes up, but they also, of course, every year are also changing the categories that some of their hotels fall into, which is normally like a consistent devaluation every single year that happens. And that hasn't happened yet for 2026, which means that we're probably going to see further devaluations in 2026, which is great. But yeah, you can see those numbers here. Like they were talking about that Park Hyatt, which somebody mentioned that they were staying at. How did I already forget where that was at? Oh, Greg, of course, saying that he booked the Park Hyatt in Tokyo. So, he probably got around 40,000 points for that standard room. Now he would have to pay 55,000 for that same exact room if it was only as busy as the standard pricing was before. But of course, since he booked now, he doesn't have to do that. So that's a big thing. The 67% jump is for those busiest times at the highest tier properties. But yeah, theoretically, this is not impacting just category 8, right? Like this is impacting every single person, which is not fun. So yeah, if we go down to even like a category 4, this is where things actually become a little bit interesting because the category 4, anywhere from 12,000 to 18,000 points in the old model. Now it's anywhere from 12,000 to 25,000. What's interesting about this is that the free night certificate on the World of Hyatt card, which is good for a category 1 through 4 hotel, technically is now becoming more valuable because if you're booking at the top busiest time with that card, you're still getting that free night regardless. And now you're actually, able to use up to 25,000 points for that free night. But that's not really a buff, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the same room no matter what. It's just now higher cost. So it feels like you're getting more value, which is kind of like cent per point inflation that I always tell you all to be careful with because at the end of the day, the price is the price. They dictate that. And what they've done is now maybe subtly convince some of us that it's actually a good thing for people with the World of Hyatt card when in reality, it's bad for everybody. I'm going to pause real quick at just that. I guess actually first, important to note, like I've been mentioning a couple of times, these changes do not kick in until sometime in May. So you still have 2 months to lock in reservations. And you basically need to just book as soon as possible before availability disappears. So those are the biggest things to cover right now. We're going to get into a lot more, but yeah, let's see what y'all are saying. What's up, K-State Nate? Beers Financial, Shrinkflation. Yeah, seriously. Alan Scott Flies, howdy. Good to see you, dude. Another channel member. Blue Monday, hit that like button. Thank you so much. Right, well, yeah, how are we looking for the lower tiers? I can pull that back up for you real quick just so you can see. Same thing applies like I kind of just got through talking about. It's going to be maybe a little bit less egregious just because the points aren't that ridiculous, but at the end of the day, you're still getting screwed, the upper peak times are increasing by that same kind of crazy percentage across the board, it seems. You're going to pay $2,500 more for a category 1, $5,500, $5,000, $7,000, $12,000. My God. Yeah. So then it starts ratcheting up, $11,000. So yeah, you can see it's not exactly the same percent increase across, but it's really high. And the highest one is going to be for the category 8s. So yeah. Ryan said, I got 95,000 Hyatt points in my account now after getting a refund for cutting a trip short due to a snowstorm. I got 2026 trip planned, so now feel rushed to plan for 2027. Yeah, I mean, effectively, it's really nice that Hyatt is giving us this information ahead of time, like a good amount of time ahead. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, some of us are going to be rushing to use our points now. This is why it's really important. I mean, you're in a different situation here, Ryan, since you had booked a trip and then got refunded the points. But this is why it's really important that you don't, one, earn only in hotel or airline currencies, because stuff like this can happen and you just lost a massive amount of value from your points if you've been stockpiling them. Like if you only had that World of Hyatt card and you were using that to earn your points, you're going to get screwed here. Somebody like myself who, yeah, we have, Chase and Bilt points that we would use for Hyatt but haven't transferred there yet, means that we can still pivot and we're fine. But it's annoying for us still because we like Hyatt, but it's not as bad as like being stuck with the points in our account and having to use them right now. Felix saying, are you going to make a full YouTube about this, video about this? I mean, that's kind of what this is, ideally. Yeah, for now, I wasn't planning on it. I mean, if there's a ton of interest, maybe, but I got a lot of nice videos lined up, at least what I think are nice videos, good videos. So I'm excited for that. Andrew said, my goat. What's going on, dude? See, did I miss anything up here? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, beer. So this is a really good question. Real quick, actually, I'm going to pause there. I want to read Brandon's real quick. He said, biggest nerf is definitely the premium stays. Simper point value down across the board, but way up for the best of the best. Exactly. Yeah, good way to summarize that. Kind of want to throw these freaking glasses on because my eyes are just killing me today. The blue light glasses. They reflect like crazy. Yeah, kind of, but I might just wear them for a bit. So Bierce was asking, does this make Chase's portal more valuable now? So yeah, I want to talk about the Sapphire Reserve, right? I think I have another article pulled up here. I'll pull it up in a second. Let me make sure this is the right one that talks about this because yeah, it's right here. I'll pull it up. So this one comes from View from the Wing. Let's see who wrote this one. Give him credit. Gary Leff. At the bottom here, he talks about how he's now using Hyatt points with these changes, and I resonate with his redemption style a lot. So he said, what really changes for me is how I use Chase points. Hyatt and Chase announced that as part of their extended credit card agreement, more Hyatt properties will be joining the edit. We should see those offered with points boost. So what he's talking about here, first of all, is that with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you have access to Chase's edit collection, which also have not only a bunch of benefits associated whenever you book the rooms, like another $100 property credit, daily breakfast for 2, room upgrades, early check-in, late checkout. You also have the edit credits on the card, of course, $250 or 2 sets of $250 credits for the edit. So already something that everybody's going to be booking. But you also get a boosted rate through the portal, through the points boost feature for those edit properties. So what he says here is, when I can redeem Hyatt properties through the edit at 2 cents a piece, it's likely that that'll be fewer points than what Hyatt wants, which is true for like all of the other hotels right now, right? Like if I'm going to be booking a Marriott or an IHG property or a Hilton property, I'm looking through Chase's edit collection first so that I get that boosted rate on my points. I'd rather redeem at 2 cents per point through Chase's portal than redeem for 0.5 with IHG, for example. Like that's just easy math, right? So he's basically saying that now he's going to be treating Hyatt redemptions in a similar way, depending on how bad the Simper points are. And he said, plus I'll get added value from Chase, like the $100 property credit and all of that. So basically he's saying, in other words, I'll be more likely to redeem Chase points through Chase travel for Hyatt stays than I will be to transfer points to Hyatt. I'll still confirm those bookings into suites with the suite upgrade certificate. So he's globalist and all of that, so that's different. I don't have that luxury. But I do resonate with that redemption style now. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave your comment up that whole time, but whatever, that works too. But yeah, so theoretically, this now puts even more burden on my Chase points. I just got through talking about a few weeks ago how I was really glad that my Chase points were going to have their burden lightened up because I got the Amex Business Platinum and the 35% points rebate feature when booking flights with points through Amex Travel. That's awesome for me because I can book American Airlines flights, for example, through that, which I was doing before through Chase's portal with my 1.5 cent per point redemption rate through my Sapphire Reserve. But yeah, so now that lightning that happened might kind of get swallowed back up again. But instead of me, worried about booking the flights, it's going to be the hotels now, which, yeah, I was using Bilt for Hyatt before. And now I'm probably going to not be wanting to use my Bilt points in that way, depending on how bad the redemption rates are, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's see here. Brightwell said, it really needs to be remembered that every single gold mine in this game is going to be patched. It's only a matter of time. True. Lends well toward actually having a core setup that aims for high category earning. Exactly. That's why I always talk about, we've talked about this so much lately too, building out that core credit card setup. You want to be building out that core credit card setup in ecosystems that help you travel or redeem in the way that you want to. And with a lot of people's setups, that was, earning Chase points for Hyatt, for example, or Bilt points for Hyatt or Atmos or whatever. But yeah, now things have to change a little bit because when before you might be able to use your Chase credit cards at lower category earning rates, like for example, the Chase Freedom Unlimited at 1.5x compared to any other 2x card out there, you could maybe justify that because you'd be redeeming at such high valuations for Hyatt properties. But now, if their valuations are so much lower, you're not going to be able to justify that as easily. So this is going to probably be leading a lot of people to moving away from Chase. And I want to make a full video about like the downfall of Chase soon. So keep an eye on that. That's probably going to be a few weeks out. So, but yeah, this is a big part of that, I think. Stinky Monkey Baby, let's go. Channel member saying, Spencer, since you're mostly a portal person with your Chase points, how much does this deval affect you? Yeah, we just got through talking about that. I would say it now just puts me needing to use the Chase portal more than before, which I was already doing a lot of, which is not good because it's pretty hard to earn Chase points now, especially with them cutting back on all of the ink card welcome offer rules and all of that. Like that really hurt me. So I don't really know. That's something I got to think through and why I want to make a full video about Chase and like what my strategy will be going forward. Brandon Ross, what then becomes the most valuable Bilt transfer partner? For domestic travel, I would still be leaning Atmos personally, but they have so many good transfer partners. Let's pull this up. So Bilt in particular, yeah, Atmos is my top one because you can use that to book American Airlines flights really easily. United's going to be lower value. I'm looking at domestic right now because I know the vast majority of my audience likes to travel domestic and economy. No matter what lender you're earning in, you're going to be able to book international. So I usually ignore those because it's just the easiest to cover with any currency. So we're talking about domestic. Atmos is great. United is okay. Depends. Let's see. Other domestic would be Southwest, which if you have the companion pass like me, really good. So, but not that many people have that. And they have Spirit, which I wouldn't be using. On the hotel side, it's again like they really only all of these partners. Hilton at a 1-to-1, not worth it. Marriott 1-to-1, not worth it. IHG 1-to-1, not worth it. Accor, maybe. I don't know how many people have ever used Accor, but Hyatt was the standout. And yeah, now you're kind of like, well, shoot, am I going to save my Bilt points for international flights or maybe Atmos or what? So it's a good question. I wonder what y'all are using them for now going forward. Jack said, do you think the category changes won't be as bad this year because of the chart changes? God, yeah, you would hope, right? For those that don't know what he's talking about, I don't know if it's on this article, but effectively every year we see Hyatt shuffle the categories of their different properties around, usually making, cheaper properties more expensive, moving them up in categories because there's 8 categories with Hyatt like we showed. Right here. There's 8 categories with Hyatt. And yeah, sometimes a lot of times they're moving a category 7 property into category 8 to make it more expensive or you name it. But Yeah, they haven't done that this year, and he's asking, will that be as bad as it normally is with how bad these changes are? And I would hope not. I would hope not, but I don't know. Oh, Greg just joined the membership. Thank you for joining, dude. Like I mentioned at the top of this, to Brad, who joined earlier as well, make sure you go check out the members only videos. The descriptions of that tell you all your benefits. Be sure to use them. That's what they're there for. Rakewell said, you've got referrals, you'll be fine on UR. Yeah, that's true, but I don't treat, I treat my channel as if I'm somebody that doesn't have that, right? Like I'm thinking through this as somebody that doesn't have referral points. That's obviously, I mean, yeah, my channel wouldn't be anything if I was just like, yeah, I got referrals, so I'm good. Like, what's the point of that? So I'm thinking from the perspective of somebody that doesn't have that, like my mom, like all my friends, like my girlfriend, like, that's just, referrals are great, but doesn't impact how I make my videos. Let's see here. Man, y'all started popping off whenever I wasn't looking. Sharvis, what's going on, dude? Saying Bilt Portal is now valuable. Yeah, definitely valuable. 1.25 cents per point through Bilt with their cards, but stacking it with like the hotel credits and stuff. I mean, maybe it's a good thing to have more hotel credits these days because of stuff like this going on. Yeah. David saying, glad I catch one of the lives. It's been a minute. Yeah, good to have you here, dude. Next said, is there a chart for the sweet point pricing now, or are those unaffected? Oh no, they're definitely affected. I don't know. Yeah, here you go. There's all-inclusive resorts here that we haven't talked about, as well as the Miraval properties, but kind of gives you an idea. I mean, I guess these are standard rooms for the all-inclusive. But like Miraval, for example, I mean, this tells you everything you need to know. The premium suites are now up to 160,000 points per night. So yeah, pretty massive devals across the board. That's insane that they're raising it that high. Let me see. Yeah, that's mainly what I want to talk about with the premium ones, that you're going anywhere from 115 to 160,000 for the top end suites. Clinton, thank you for catching up, not dang on everything. Appreciate you. Rakewell said, if you had to pick one, what hotel chain is best for lowest total points per room? Not looking at most value and fancy suites and all that, just fewest points for basic rooms. Choice, IHG, Wyndham. I mean, Choice is going to be the best if you want to make your point stretch the farthest, I would say, but you need to be, I mean, you don't really want to be earning directly with their cards. Like you'd want like a Wells Fargo, for example, to be transferring there at a 1 to 2 rate. You can stretch your points really far there. You're definitely not getting fancy suites with them, but you can get some really nice properties. IHG, really high amount of points required per night, but their points are technically easier to earn through welcome offers and all of that. Wyndham, I think they're pretty down the middle. Hilton, of course, extremely expensive points cost, but again, technically should be easier to earn their points through welcome offers and everything. So it really is dependent on the property. I mean, Hyatt for me has always been the one that's like, I know I'm going to get the most value for a reasonable cost, but now that's not the case anymore. But yeah, I guess here's one thing too. I forgot to mention this. I don't know if Anthony or anybody from that's going to the meetup is going to join today, but we are staying at a Hyatt property for the community meetup this year in Charleston, the Wild Dunes Resort, I think. And if you haven't booked that yet, book it now. That thing's going to get ridiculously expensive, and I think it already was. Rager was asking, would I not recommend Chase cards? No, that's the thing. Is like I think there is still going to be room for value. It's just going to be harder to get with Hyatt. For the longest time, we've always been talking about how Hyatt is so easy. Like, this is what I've been saying, at least. Like, Hyatt is so easy. No matter when you book, you're probably going to get close to 2 cents per point. That makes it super simple for the everyday card user to find value. Now that's changing. Like, now you're going to have to be looking for rooms during the off-peak times, basically, in order to get good value. So yeah, things are just going to get more difficult, as is exactly what we talked about in my video about like WTF is happening to the credit card game. So I still think it's worth getting Chase cards because you can still stack all of the offers together, get good value. But yeah, it's harder to recommend spending a ton of money on them if your direct path was only Hyatt, unless you're going to put in that extra effort. if that makes sense. Steven said, how do you think Chase and Bilt will react to this, and does this affect a possible Chase Sapphire preferred refresh? I mean, Chase and Hyatt are obviously like pretty buddy with things, with them introducing more properties, Hyatt introducing more properties into the edit collection with Chase and stuff like that. I mean, obviously we don't have any direct Hyatt credits on any of these cards, so I don't know how much it would affect the Chase Sapphire preferred refresh. You know, status isn't changing with these changes, with these devaluations, to my knowledge, so I don't see why they would offer that as a perk or anything. So I don't know how much it would affect the actual cards, but it's going to hurt these programs, right? Like we talked about, Chase and Bilt are going to be negatively impacted. Their point valuations are going to be negatively impacted because Hyatt was propping them up so much. Ryan saying maybe this will push Chase to improve their cards. Again, I just don't. Chase doesn't own Hyatt, right? Chase's cards aren't directly. I mean, besides the co-branded credit cards with Hyatt, they don't have a reason to change their core family of cards. I mean, I guess maybe you could argue that if so many people are getting Chase cards to only use with Hyatt, then they're going to probably need to raise their base earning rates across the board. But good luck. Chase's, I don't know. Ryan saying, had such high hopes for Bilt and was let down. Now with this Hyatt news, strongly considering moving away from Chase and full sending Capital One and Citi. Adaptability is the name of this game. Definitely need to be able to adapt. And that's why it's good to have a little bit of diversity in your credit card setup. Absolutely. I would assume that you were using Bilt and Chase specifically for Hyatt, if that's why this has been disappointing for you. Capital One and Citi can be really solid in combination, even like the Cap One Duo and Citi Duo of like the custom cash, Strata Premier on Citi side, and Venture X and Sabre with Capital One. That you could have the Capital One setup be like your international travel setup, and then have the Citi be your domestic if you're flying AA. So I really like that approach. Bilt can still be great because you can use Atmos for American flights, and they have better partners than Capital One and Citi, besides American Airlines, I would say. But yeah, Chase, it's tougher to recommend now because let's pull up their transfer partner list. Oh God, I just zoomed in the wrong screen. Whoops. So yeah, Chase's transfer partner list is going to be harder to find value in now without Hyatt. Like if you're taking them as a lower valuation now, I mean, you're basically stuck using them for international flights outside of Southwest and United. For me, that's still fine. And again, I'm really fine because I have the Sapphire Reserve that gives me the boost through the portal. So that's where I'm going to be using basically all my Chase points. Like I don't even see myself transferring Chase points anytime soon now, except for whenever I find a really good deal with Hyatt still. That's going to be out there. Like I said, it's not the end of the world, but it is the end of easy value with them. I just saw something come through here. Polo, what's going on, dude? Gifted 5 memberships. Already a channel member. Decided to go ahead and support some more. You're too kind, dude. Thank you for that. If y'all got a membership from Polo, be sure to thank him, of course. And now y'all have free access to the membership for a month, which is huge. You can go use all those benefits for free. So that's cool. Thank you so much for doing that, Polo. I appreciate you. And Big Kurt, good to see you again, as always. Send in a little $2 spot. So thank you for that as well. Hope you're learning something from today's stream and excited to have you here. All right, scroll back up a little bit. Oh, Chad's Money Minutes. Chad, you're a long-standing channel member. I appreciate you joining in today. Luke's Points a Mile saying, what's up, boys? Good to see you, dude. Background balloon said Clark Kent does credit card streams. I appreciate you. I'll take being compared to Clark Kent and Steve Harrington all day. Calder's asking about my Venture One. How's it treating me? I mean, brother, that thing ain't getting used. I'll tell you that much. I think I got 1 subscription on it now. Oh yeah, that's actually something I want to talk about with memberships, and in particular with YouTube. That's how I'm keeping a lot of my cards alive, because you can select a different payment method for each membership that you join. So I'm a member of Luke's channel. There's a lot of them that I'm a member of. So I just use a different card for each of those to keep them alive. So I think I changed my membership to, I think it might have been like Matt Clausen or something, to my Venture One, and that's all it's getting used for now. Mr. Krabs the GOAT. Does this mean I go for the Amex Gold now? I would need a lot more information to tell you if you should be doing that. What I would say is make sure that you're not running into the same issue that you would be with Chase now, in that you're not able to use the points in the ways that you want to. Because in reality, Amex's transfer partner list, unless you're going to be doing the airline alliance stuff, which you can do with any of these lenders, doesn't matter who, which has no competitive advantage for Amex. Unless you're doing that, they don't have the best list of domestic partners. I mean, they have Delta, and I'll pull them up for you. Delta would be like the main one, but they're not great valuations. Yeah, so they have, for domestic again, focusing on that. They do have Choice, but it's 1-to-1. You're not going to want to do that. Delta 1-to-1, but their point valuations are really low. Hilton, they have 1-to-2. So that's really the main competitive advantage that I use for domestic trips is Hilton, unless I'm doing airline alliance stuff. They have JetBlue, but not at a good redemption rate. Marriott, of course, 1-to-1. You're not going to want to do. So yeah, again, it's like, yeah, you can go get the Amex Gold if you want, but then are you just earning points that you actually also can't use how you want to? So just be careful. Rage, you're saying best combo 3-card setup with Bilt Palladium. Dude, these days you don't need anything more than that. I mean, you could combo the Bilt Palladium with a couple of, you could do like a hotel card alongside it or something like that. But, you know, at a minimum, you're getting 3.33x on every purchase with the Palladium, which makes so many other cards useless. So for me, it's like really my setup could be boiled down to Bilt Palladium plus Sapphire Reserve, and I'm about done. I'm sure there are some pesky categories you could get covered elsewhere, but with a miscellaneous spin card giving me 3.33x at a minimum, I got no reason to build out a crazy setup. Granted, I have 20 cards because I'm chasing welcome offers, but that's about it. Yeah, Luke saying, got to call this dynamic pricing now. 3 categories, but 5, yeah, that's not a real chart. Exactly. The only benefit here, or the only benefit of the doubt that I'll give them, is that it's not technically dynamic because they, to my understanding, they set the pricing for each property at the beginning of the year. Yes, now they can transition it through these, like they can change it depending on how busy it is through each of these 5 new charts or each pricing models, I guess. But at the end of the day, like if it's a category 5, like that's what it's locked into. So yeah, I definitely get that though. I mean, it feels very much like dynamic pricing, but at least they're locking in their categories, throughout the year, like one time, which is nice. Sharp is saying, does anyone in this game book normal Hyatts with points, or is it all categories 6 through 8 during peak times? Oh, dude, I book a lot of Hyatt places and Hyatt houses, and they're not category 6 through 8s. So yeah, I think there's still going to be plenty of value in Hyatt. I think it's probably getting a little bit blown out of proportion, and I'm sure my thumbnail didn't help, but got to lean into it, of course. Got to lean into the drama. You know how YouTube is. But yeah, there's still plenty of value you can get for lower categories. It's just they're still going to be impacted. You're probably not going to get the same 2 cents per point on every booking you do, but every once in a while, sure. Let's see. Madi's saying, do you think part of the reason for the Hyatt devaluation is the new Hyatt credit cards that could come? I mean, I guess that could be playing a role for sure. We haven't heard anything about the new Hyatt cards in so long. I think I included that as one of my predictions for 2026 because I want it to come true. But I mean, you could be right. Like maybe with a luxury Hyatt card that came out, if it has a better free night, they didn't want to give you too much value. But again, that wouldn't make sense because the category, whatever category night that covered, would be any of the tiers, not just the moderate or lowest busyness. So I don't know. I mean, it might have something to do with it. If they're revamping their whole system right now, there could be other stuff going on behind the scenes for sure. Yeah, Jerome, going back to what I was saying earlier about Choice, saying Choice 1 to 2 is hard to beat. Yeah. Polo saying Delta Sky Pesos. Simply Andy here. Good to see you, dude. Saying the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, my camera looks a little bit better than our conversation the other day. I completely forgot that I had this overhead mount that I use for all my B-roll for the shorts. So yeah, I was like, shoot, let me put my camera up there and I can look at least directly at this screen and y'all get a new view of the room. But yeah, I was using my terrible webcam whenever we chatted the other day. Mama saying, now that Bilt is easier to earn points, doesn't that offset Hyatt's devaluation? I'd be careful saying that it's easier to earn Bilt points now. But So I would say no, because I don't think it is easier to earn Bilt points. It's easier to earn Bilt points on everyday spend, but beforehand you just had to make 5 transactions. You were earning unlimited rent points. So yeah, I wouldn't say that that offsets it, fortunately. Kevin Wynn asking what documents he needs to open the Charles Schwab checking account. I didn't have to send them any documents, I don't think, for that. But that I can recall. That was a long time ago I did that, though. Neely said the Delta cards make Delta points a little better, but yeah, not great. Yeah, I've only ever used Delta points to like top off my bookings or like use it for positioning flights at really cheap costs. But even then, I'm like, I don't feel good about it. Byron saying IHG for the win. IHG is great. I'm going to be staying at the Kimpton Seafire thanks to Luke's Points and Miles here. I'm staying there this summer, or yeah, around this summer. So I'm really excited for that. And I got really good value for my IHG booking. I'll make a full video on it, but it actually ties in with this Hyatt conversation because the way that I booked it was during that 70% transfer bonus from Chase to IHG, I transferred the points over. That property by itself was already like a 1 cent per point valuation with just IHG points. Or it was higher than that because I ended up getting like over 2 cents per point for my Chase points for an IHG booking without using the portal, which was really cool. But yeah, IHG is really solid. Polo said he's doing that same thing with memberships too, where he's using like 1 card for each. K-State saying tough to make capital when you're international setup except Venture X because if their cards move to Discover, it'll make it harder to find acceptance internationally. Yeah, sorry. Whenever I said that, I meant international bookings with their points. I did not mean bringing the cards abroad. It doesn't matter really what cards you bring abroad unless you're staying there for a long time. Just yeah, the Venture X would be fine. But yeah, I was talking about redemption wise, since they really only have international partners that are viable. I would use them. I use their points for international and the Citi points for domestic. Daniel said, I just realized I got gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Polo. Sorry, I didn't see it when it happened. I'm doing some math. No problem, dude. Thank you for being here. And yeah, definitely use those benefits thanks to Polo. He said he'll definitely be watching all the members only videos since I've been rewatching old ones whenever I want something in the background. That's awesome. Yeah, you'll see the members ones are more chill, kind of like these streams. So like no real editing going on or anything. So I hope you enjoy it. Rampage said sometimes the Robinhood 3% on everything just seems like the ultimate goal. That's exactly why I made the video I did this week, is because I think a big theme for a lot of folks in 2026 is shifting towards cashback a bit. And this Hyatt devaluation is going to push more people towards that because they're tired of dealing with all of this crap. And I understand it. I will say, like, for me, I'm still happy to be earning, 3.3 Bilt points per dollar spent on my Palladium at the lowest instead of 3% cashback, because I can still utilize those points with either international trips or with Atmos or with Hyatt during, whenever I find good deals. But if I was just ready to be done with this, I'd be doing everything I could to get the Robinhood card and call it good until it gets nerfed. That inevitably is going to get nerfed. Isaac says, should I get the Bilt Palladium if I don't have a mortgage yet? I mean, yeah, it works for rent too. So yeah, you definitely could. I can't say if you should, but you could. Parallax said, should I go Bilt for international travel? You could as well. MasterCards should be accepted worldwide and no foreign transaction fees. So yeah, you could. Sharvis said, Robinhood just released a travel card. Did they release something right now? Let's see. I don't see anything right now, but let's see. Maybe I need to put Reddit at the end of this. I always got the news. Sidetracking a little bit here. Yeah, I don't say anything right now, but Greg said Bilt is excellent now that they allow us with mortgages to use it. Yeah. Unfortunate timing once again, though, because it's like, well, yeah, now people are going, all in with Bilt, hoping to use their Bilt points with Hyatt, and now Hyatt's losing value. So I definitely understand that. Generic channel said, I just got the Robinhood Gold and the Amex Blue Cash Preferred once Bank of America announced their deval. That's another deval that just happened. And that's on the cashback side, guys. It's not good. We're not looking good in this credit card game. I guess that's why this that video did so well a couple weeks ago. God dang, those Zevias are so carbonated. For those who don't know what he's talking about, Bank of America announced a devaluation. Show you all that. To their preferred rewards program. What the heck? Here we go. So right here, beforehand, to be a part of their Platinum Honors tier, which gives you 75% boost on all of your credit card rewards, making, it really increases the value of those cards a lot. Like it makes the Bank of America Unlimited Cash from a 1.5% card to 2.625. That's really solid. You had to have $100,000 in assets with them or Merrill, which wasn't that hard to do whenever you've been in your career for a long time. So a lot of people were using that. But they changed it now to where if you want that same 75% boost, you have to have $1 million or more in assets with them. And the $100,000 range has been changed to 50%. Still solid. Still get 2.25% with the unlimited card and like 4.5% with the customized cash. So still great, but not as good. So he was saying here that he got the Robinhood Gold and Blue Cash Preferred once Bank of America announced their deval. And I understand that. Got to keep pivoting. Josh said, Wells Fargo Active Cash has been my catch-all. Just picked up the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Does that make the Freedom a better catch-all if I'm going to transfer out points? Technically, yes. So you have a couple options here. If you want to use all of your points with transfer partners, then yeah, it seems like the only active path you have to do that right now is with Chase. But you could also just get like the free Wells Fargo autograph card and start using your Wells Fargo points for travel. But the list of partners with Wells Fargo is much more limited. So you have to do all of these different calculations in your head. Like which one do you prefer, which ecosystem? How much would you be earning with the cards in that ecosystem? And does the math work out to where that's where you should be focusing your attention? Let's see here. I'm trying to read your username, sorry. Love me some, I don't know. Love me some said, I booked the Andaz Vienna for 3 cents per point for 3 nights when the news came out. Yeah. Good time to be doing that. Again, let's reiterate here. Anybody that wants to book Hyatt properties and you have trips already planned, go book it now. Hi, nice to meet you. Is Chase devaluing Hyatt? No, but Hyatt is being devalued. Yeah. Chase does not own Hyatt, right? So Hyatt's their own program. They've basically just increased the cost of all of their properties. Technically, they have a new evolved award chart, which is bringing the cost of properties really, really high. So that's kind of the news. And yeah, so technically your Chase points, kind of by proxy or whatever the right terminology is also getting devalued. Yeah, Clinton, Hyatt is devaluing Hyatt. Yep. JC saying, how sure are we that Chase 524 still exists? I've seen mixed things. I mean, I'm pretty positive it still exists, but they've always had workarounds where like if you get mail-in offers, you can get around it. If you spend a ton with them, you probably get around it. So there's ways to get around it, but it should still be a rule. I mean, with certain cards, it might not be. That's the thing. It's like it's a little bit more confusing now, but assume that it does exist. Simply Andy saying, I've been using the Bilt Palladium card only and the points add up quickly, especially on rent day. Yeah, that plus the Bilt Cash. Like I have so much Bilt Cash, it's kind of crazy, actually. 4% on every dollar, plus 2x on every dollar is wild. Brandon saying, I've started putting rent on some cards I'm chasing subs on. Yep. And running the payment through Bilt to double earn. A way to get into the system when getting a Bilt card doesn't math for me yet. Yeah, really solid way to do that. Earn 1 point per $2 spent on rent through Bilt with another card. You do pay the transaction fee, but that transaction fee is worth it whenever you are earning a welcome offer because the return on spend percentage for that is going to be so much higher than the 3% you're paying in fees. Beer saying, is there any other reason outside of the sub that I shouldn't get the Platinum Schwab? I just feel like the 1.1 cashback is worth it to stay flexible. Is there any other reason outside the sub that I shouldn't get the Platinum Schwab? I guess you're saying like if you jump straight to the Schwab Platinum instead of vanilla, you miss out on a better offer. I think that's what you're saying. But no, I mean, the Charles Schwab Platinum is the better Platinum card because of that cashback flexibility. So I would personally much rather have that one than the vanilla over time. But yeah, you do sacrifice the higher offer since you can only get one offer on any of the Platinum cards, technically. But it could be very well worth that trade-off. Oh my gosh. Sharvis, look at you breaking some news to us. I found what you were talking about now. I assume this is true. It's Yahoo Finance. Apparently Robinhood did just release a premium card. $695 annual fee. Brother. I haven't heard this yet, so this is all news. I'm going to read it real quick. We can talk about it. Robinhood is releasing a premium rewards credit card with $695 annual fee. The Robinhood Platinum. The Platinum card offers higher limits, elite rewards, and luxury benefits, raises the bar for what customers should expect. Okay. Invite only. So that's going to be for the high spenders for sure. So it's not going to be one that anybody can apply for. Interesting. Well, bonus rewards, 10% back on hotels and rental cars. It doesn't say that it's through the Robinhood app or anything, so that's really solid. That's really solid. 5% on flights booked through Robinhood, 5% on dining. Wow. Complimentary Robinhood Gold, unlimited Priority Pass Select, $250 in annual DoorDash credits, and complimentary Dash Pass. So that's probably broken up like Chase, which is really annoying. $250 annual credit for autonomous rides. Dude. Get the Waymos out of here, man. The clankers, I don't want them. Complimentary Amazon One medical membership. Function Health membership. Ooh, that's actually really nice. That's a big value. I just did I paid for a year of Function. It was $340. And Aura. And $200 towards wearable health. Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. Sorry, this is kind of like breaking up the flow of what we had going, but it is interesting. What do y'all think? Sharp said it's on their live stream now. Sharp said those are legendary credits that Robinhood just dropped. Yeah, they're pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can cover the annual fee really quickly. I would, if you're somebody that cares about like health and stuff, it'd be really easy. So, pretty interesting. But unfortunately, nobody's going to be able to get it. Oh, they have a $500 hotel credit? I didn't even see that. Yeah, it's not on here. I probably just missed it. Yeah, crazy expensive. I mean, dude, welcome to 2026. Everything's expensive. Insane. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up a bit. But yeah. Let's see. Man, I missed a lot. Okay, here we go. Rich said, I'm interested in getting Citi cards. What are your recommendations to do a month before applying in order to get a higher chance? If you got denied for one of their cards, then I'd wait 6 to 12 months between applications before applying, unfortunately. That'd be my recommendation. Not much else you can really do besides wait. Big Kurt, he said, hey, Spence, just got the Venture One's rewards card, and it still says MasterCard Elite. Venture One rewards card, MasterCard Elite. I'm honestly not like super familiar with all the different MasterCards. I mean, I have mine. I can check it real quick. I don't want to dox myself. Give me a sec. Venture One rewards. Mine's a Visa signature. Is that weird? Is it not supposed to do that? I don't know. AJ, question about Palladium. I'm in college. Can you pay your rent with Venmo and get it count for rent for points? Yes. You have to have, I just figured this out. Unfortunately, I had a really annoying process with Bilt this week. Probably could talk about that too, but you have to have a Bilt card to pay through Venmo now. That wasn't the case in the past, so that really screwed up my ability to get new welcome offers since I pay my landlord through Venmo. But if you have a Bilt 2.0 card, you're good. Clinton said, I just got $8.55 luggage damage claim approved from Chase. From Chase Travel Insurance for replacement wheel. Don't think that will push me over the edge in justifying the $7.95 fee. Travel Adventure saying Chase is clamped down so hard, killing me in the player too. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, I want to make a full video about the state of Chase these days. Neely said, I mainly like Bilt because of how many points you can earn. Even if you don't get the best cent per point, you still get good overall return on spend. True. But you should be getting really good cent per points regardless with Bilt. Should be. I mean, anything over 1 cent per point, you're beating the Robinhood Gold card at 3% cash back. So Generic Channel said, I have a lot of IRAs with Robinhood, so they gave me the card instantly once I asked. Wow. I'm talking about the Robinhood Gold, I would assume. I wonder if they'll send you out invites for the Robinhood Platinum. Yeah, Rampage listing out some of the credits. I didn't see all of those on this list that I saw, but yeah, I guess maybe this is still rumored, but yeah, the list that I saw only had these here. It doesn't say anything about hotel or restaurants, but who knows? Whoops. Travel Adventure says business class flights for 50,000 points, one way. Amex Transfer World seems like a thing of the past. Yeah, I've never booked any for that cheap, but I've also never done a ton of research into them. Every time I've booked 60,000 each way, like last year, and yeah, that wasn't bad, but I don't know anymore. Ooh, Sharvis is a big Robinhood fan. They just dropped the best card in the world. Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows? Yeah, it might be something. It might be the new wave, but we'll see. Always got to be a little bit. I'm kind of like to pump the brakes a bit on stuff like that, just in case. I mean, we already saw that the biggest catch is that it's invite only. So, Milk and Porsche. I dumped all my Hyatt points on Park Hyatt, New York City this February, and I'm glad that I did. Yeah, again, everybody, if you have trips to book with Hyatt, do it before May to block in the lower rates. Do it. Attack of the Nerds. I love that. Watching the credit card game change over the years has been insane. I've only been playing since the end of 2024, but the amount of changes and devaluation are heartbreaking. Yeah, you got in at a pretty bad time, I would say, unfortunately. There's only been bad news since then, I feel like. But yeah, it's there's always ways to adapt. I want to say that. Like, there really are. Like, that's what we're here to talk about, right? It's like, how do we still continue winning? And we've found a workaround here with Hyatt. You know, if you have the Sapphire Reserve, you're doing all right still. Still need the Chase points for that. So you're not like screwed. But yeah, everything that happened, every new nerf that we see, you can adapt. James said, my wife wanted to whoop. I got her a reserve, Boston area, so she gets a lounge. Yeah, it's great. I mean, that reserve credit is awesome. I'm going to use that here like next month when my membership ends and upgrade to the Whoop Life membership. For those that don't know what he's talking about, just like the Robinhood Platinum we just saw. If you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve or Preferred, actually, you get discounts on Whoop. So right now, you get 1 year of Whoop Life with the Sapphire Reserve, a statement credit of $359 when you use it to purchase a Whoop Life membership by May 12th. So I'll be using that. You also get a $100 credit with the Preferred. So pretty cool. And yeah, I guess the Robinhood card has a wearable credit. Yeah, Aura, all that. So that's cool. Polo said, on Chase, I hear sometimes on co-branded cards, 524 may not apply. That's correct. Sometimes. The Amazon card's one that really doesn't ever seem to be impacted. Patron, are you able to run non-Bilt cards for mortgage payments through Bilt? Yes. I haven't done it mortgage wise, but yes, I'm pretty sure you can. Sorry, it's getting a little bit late for me to think, but yeah, you should. Bilt's platform is more than just the credit cards, right? So you can use whatever card you want. You're not going to you're going to have to pay the transaction fee for using a credit card, but you'll earn 1 point per $2 spent. Jackson, I just got the Freedom Unlimited. Would a good next card be the Sapphire Reserve, or should I go with the Freedom Flex? I mean, those are two very different cards, so it would really depend on what you need right now. The Sapphire Preferred is also one to consider if you just want transfer partner access. The Reserve's a big step up, so you're gonna have to run some numbers for sure. If you're just looking for earning potential, Freedom Flex might be a good next step, but you could also come back and get the Freedom Flex later if you really need the travel perks right now. Daniel said, isn't the Morgan Stanley Platinum better? They give you a free authorized user and you can cash out at 1 cent per point with a free E-Trade account. Plus, it only has an annual fee of $6.60. The annual fee is not $6.60. There might be a way you could get like the refund, but I mean, it's $8.95. Right? Am I crazy? I'm pulling it up just to make sure. Where is this? Yeah, $8.95. Okay, just make sure it wasn't crazy. But yeah, it does have the free authorized user, one free authorized user, which brings down the annual fee by $195, effectively giving you an annual fee of $700 if you want to think about it like that. And the 1 cent per point's great, but if you're cashing out a lot of points, and you don't have an authorized user, then obviously the Charles Schwab's what I would prefer. Oh, Tyler, credit card tips, saying, what's up, man? Wanted to pop in real quick and wish you a good stream. Thank you, dude. Yeah, I'm kind of behind here. Sorry about that. But thank you for joining and thank you for being a member. Daniel said the Robinhood Platinum doesn't really look that worth it. The best perk looks to be the complimentary Robinhood Gold membership, coming as somebody who has Robinhood Gold. I mean, if these are the benefits that are available, you're getting much more value than just Robinhood Gold. That'd be $50 in value there. Priority Pass is whatever you value that at. This is probably going to be a $0 value. Autonomous rides, it depends. You could consider that value or not. And then, yeah, really, I mean, I see what you're saying, because like if you don't care about any of these like medical benefits, then yeah, it's actually not that good of a card. Unless it has those hotel and dining credits that Jarvis has been mentioning and a couple other people, which maybe they mentioned on their live stream, but it's not on this website that I found. So, but if it has those other benefits, and that's $800 or whatever in value, $700 in value for just travel and dining, then it could be well worth it. Aaron said, Chase sucks. I have 815 credit and Chase doesn't want to give me any more cards and I only have 5. Well, there's a couple things that could be going on here. One is that you're running into their 524 rule, which is a hard rule set by them for ages. You can't have more than 5 credit cards with anybody in the past 24 months or you'll get denied. That sounds like that's what's happening, unfortunately. So yeah, you just have to wait. If that's not the case, it's probably because they've extended you so much credit that they can't extend you anymore. So sometimes what you can do is either use the existing credit from a card to open a new one, or decrease your limits on ones that you're not using and to open the new ones. But it sounds like this might be a 524 issue. Rampage said, I wish the Freedom Unlimited would become 2x catch-all and Sapphire Preferred 3% online grocery would just become 3% grocery in general. God, yeah. We've been asking for that since I started my channel 4 years ago. We're actually coming up on my 4-year anniversary on this channel, which is cool. That'd be fun to do a live about that. But Super Sal said 15,000 points away from the companion pass. It's so difficult getting it through regular spend. I assume you're talking about the Southwest companion pass. Yeah, I wouldn't be getting it through normal spend, brother. Just get a welcome offer. You'll be good. That's crazy to do it from normal spend. But hey, you're almost there, I guess. Not bad. Miles is saying, will you be jumping ship from the Chase ecosystem since the Hyatt devaluation? Absolutely not. As we discussed, my strategy is going to change a little bit because I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, so I could still book high-end Hyatt properties at 2 cents per point with the points boost feature if I wanted to. I use Chase points for, I don't actually currently use my Chase points with Hyatt. So it's actually not that big of a change for me with Chase, but it is with Bilt because I do use my Bilt points with Hyatt. But I'm not jumping ship on Bilt either because they have Atmos, who I use for American Airlines flights, and a ton of international partners. What this could lead me to do for sure is transition some of my spend to, well, really it's not going to, because my Bilt card is going to be earning like the vast majority of my spend. Sapphire Reserve is the only one that gives me any elevated rates past that. And then I have like the PayPal debit for wholesale clubs since I can't use my Bilt card there. Yeah, so really it's like, I don't know. I'm in a weird spot with my setup because I really don't need that many cards to actually run daily spin through, but it's a combo of the Bilt Palladium, the Citi cards, mainly the Citi Custom Cash, I guess, for 5x on gas, with a Strata Premier for travel partner access, the Chase Sapphire Reserve for travel purchases, PayPal debit for wholesale, and that's really about it. But yeah, this doesn't actually change my strategy a ton, except it requires me to use my Chase points for luxury Hyatt stays through the Edit collection if I wanted to. Matthew asking, do I have any experience using Rove miles? I do not. I've heard a lot of people talk about it, but I've never done it. Jack said a trick to get invited to the Robinhood Gold is just to ask their support on Twitter and you get an invite immediately. I have heard stuff like this, actually. Hoping it's the same for the Platinum. I don't think so. This one sounds more invite only than the Robinhood Gold is not really invite only. I guess it kind of is. So maybe you're right, but maybe. I don't know. It'd be interesting. We'll just have to see. Simply Andy saying, since heavy in the credit card game, has your significant other been invested in credit cards now too? Honestly, I mean, yeah, in the sense of like she just uses my card, whatever card I tell her to get us the most value. She really loves the points bookings that we do. Like she thinks it's really cool, and like all the upgrades and stuff we get for booking through the Edit, Final Hotels and Resorts now, and Bilt's Home Away from Home, like all that. She really loves those added benefits, but she's not like applying for her own cards like crazy. I'm kind of keeping her credit profile completely clean for the future whenever all these rules are tightening, so I'm going to try to leave her credit report being the one that we get the harder to get cards. Daniel said, oh, wow, looking at the live stream, the Robinhood Gold card might actually be much better than the other premium cards. Yeah, it could be. It all is dependent. He said paired with the Robinhood Gold, it would be an insane setup. Yeah. We have to remember here, I don't know. I'm trying not to be like pessimistic because I feel like that's usually my initial reaction to any news is pessimistic. You can see that with the Bilt stuff, and then I start learning about it, and I'm like, oh wait, actually this could work really well for me. It kind of happens all the time, so I'm trying to be better about it. But objectively, I do not like that Robinhood cards are offered by Coastal Community Bank, who also runs the Avon cards, who I also am not a fan of. So they might do something really cool for first year, and yeah, it might be worth running it while you can, but there's a high likelihood that the back end is not supportive enough for all these people, and that's why they have these cards as invite only. And yeah, I'd be a little bit hesitant, but it would be really cool to take advantage of it while you can. Does it have a welcome offer? Did they mention that? James was saying it was $300 in travel, $500 in hotel, I think he meant. Yeah. Juan Garcia said, hey, Spencer, Hyatt should come out openly and state that they're moving to dynamic pricing instead of changing to 5 tiers of pricing. Yeah, again, I talked about this when Luke came in earlier. It's annoying because they really are basically dynamic pricing, but they're not because they set the rates, the categories for each of their hotels at the beginning of the year. Marriott, Hilton, all those dynamic ones, they don't do that. So it's a bit different. But yeah, it's like 85% dynamic or whatever. Like, yeah. Oh, Neil, this is good. You said you can't for mortgage. We're talking about the Bilt cards earlier, saying you could use any card to pay your rent, but not your mortgage, it says here. So I wouldn't know. I haven't tried it, but. Daniel said the credit limit they're showing for that Robinhood Platinum is 100K, so I wonder how many assets you have to have with them. Rampage said for your 4-year anniversary, Chase should gift you something. Yeah. I don't think Chase likes me. I think they're changing all these rules because people like me keep exploiting them. Do you think it's valuable to have more than 6 cards if you're not hunting for offers? I would say you probably don't need that many. I think most people would like max out at like 5, but like a good 3 card setup is probably all most people need. But it's so dependent on your preferences and what earning categories you need covered. Jackson said, do you think they'll nerf the PayPal debit anytime soon? That card is way too good. I don't know. It's like they have less risk with that one. I mean, I guess they're giving you a lot of rewards, but their risk is lower because it's a prepaid debit card compared to like a credit card. So they're not really on the hook for anything here. Like if you don't have the money, you don't get to use it. But I don't know. I mean, I would think at some point it's going to get nerfed for sure, but it hasn't yet. Parallax, does Venture One rewards give you access to Capital One's transfer partners? Yes, that's why I downgraded to the Venture One. Any of the Venture cards give you access to the partners, so I took the cheapest option I could, which is free. Hondo saying, oops, I'm hella late. No problem. Welcome. Dr. Chris, good to see you. He said, Spencer, good evening, brother. Good evening to you too. I just made my Atmos Summit Infinite spend. Oh, free welcome offer. Nice. In Bank of America Customized Cash about 2 weeks ago, and I got the Atmos Companion Pass, so I got the 80K points. Wow, nice. I'm pretty jealous of y'all that can really take advantage of the Atmos system. I can't really do that here in Texas. I mean, I can when it comes to American Airlines flights and booking that through Atmos, but yeah, I can't do it like some of y'all do, where you get status with them and all that kind of stuff for your spend. Like that's cool. You could combine that with Bilt too and just use that as your rent card, your rent card, which is awesome, but I don't have that luxury. You said now I have nearly 150K Atmos points since you had 60K when they merged Alaska and Hawaiian. That's awesome. There's always a catch. Elite Go saying Robinhood has no welcome bonus. Not great. Oh, Daniel said my current portfolio in Robinhood is in their stock, which just saw a 2% jump on this news, so I'm in support. That's funny. Nice. Ray saying, is the Hyatt Devaluation cooked? I just got the Freedom Unlimited to match with my Sapphire Preferred, but now wondering if the Chase ecosystem is even worth it. Yeah, I think that's everybody's initial reaction. We've kind of covered that a lot already, but I'll say again that is this news cooked? Is it cooked, chat? I don't know. I feel like I'm too old to even say that now. It's not good. It's definitely not good news. However, that doesn't mean that Chase's ecosystem is dead. I mean, if you were only ever planning on using your Chase points for Hyatt alone, it's not great, but you'll still be able to find decent redemptions. It just won't be as good as before. So you can run the math though now. It's like, okay, well, what are my options with other lenders? Should I be putting on my spend through Citi's cards or Capital One's cards or Amex cards? What partners do they have? Am I actually going to get good redemption rates with those based on my travel habits? And you might come out doing all that math, realizing that, oh wait, Chase cards still are best for me, even with Hyatt having lower average cent per point values. And that's that. So I think it's going to be something that people just need to run the math and they'll figure it out pretty quick. But we obviously can't really do that yet until May. So this is all a little bit of speculation. Ooh, PCAB, what's your recommendation setup for someone who travels to more remote locations like national parks? I mean, I guess we'll be doing a lot more driving, so you're going to need a good gas card. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. It really, I think what it comes down to at that point is like, if you're flying for those national parks, then it still makes sense for you to have cards that earn points that allow you to make those flights happen. You probably don't need to focus as much on hotels though, obviously. So I would probably focus all my attention on the ecosystems that allow me to earn points with the airlines I'm flying with, and then use the points for that. So all the spin directed towards those airlines. That's what I would probably do. Dr. Chris said, Spencer, you're sitting pretty in Austin. Just take AA flights via Alaska. Yeah, I just don't fly AA all the time. I fly a lot of Southwest, which is great because I have the companion pass. But yeah, Southwest and AA, I have now set my selected airline with Amex as AA for my Amex Business Platinum. So I get effectively 1.54 cents per point for all American Airlines bookings through Amex Travel, plus get the $200 airline credit. So yeah, I'm pretty well covered now. Travel Adventure saying I'm stuck with 2 Atmos Companion $99 credits and don't see anything amazing for it. Yeah, I'm about to let mine expire. I have 2 as well. And I don't know. I don't want to pay cash. So whatever. I still got other points for the welcome offer, so it's okay. I wouldn't say it's okay for everybody, but for me, it's okay. Oh my gosh, this Zevia. J. Dot said, what are your thoughts on Wells Fargo? I feel like they're on the come up or at least have the potential thanks to the autograph and journey. Yeah, I made a full video about them recently. I call them the most underrated credit card setup because I think they are. Their cards are amazing. Transfer partner list is short, but powerful. If you stay with Choice, for example, like, oh my God, yeah, you're great. Just get Wells Fargo cards and call it a day. But yeah, you could really, outside of that, if you wanted to use them for travel, you would really only be stuck using the international partners, or for domestic flights, using international partners to book the domestic flights through airline alliances. But their ecosystem, earning-wise, is amazing. I think the only category they're missing is it groceries? If I recall correctly, which is really annoying, but not the end of the world. You get the PayPal debit and be good. So, yeah. Daniel said, wait, this is actually amazing news for me as a Robinhood Gold card holder. Thanks for whoever told us about this. Yeah, definitely go check that out. I'm glad we got to cover it. That was the first breaking news I've ever done on this live stream. So pretty cool. Stephen Baker said, I'm looking for cards now that after the sub, I don't spend on it, but get credits or benefits from. Just don't know what's worth it right now. Yeah, it's tough. I think I understand what you're saying here. It's tough because I think what a lot of people forget too is that you could just pay for those credits and benefits, pay for whatever they're covering out of pocket without paying an annual fee. And so many people forget that. Like, you don't have to pay $900 for the Amex Platinum to use $900 worth of benefits. Like, just put that Lululemon spend through any other card instead of getting a credit for it, because it's the same thing. You'd actually earn more value by just spending out of pocket because you'd earn points. So, like, yeah, you have to run the math on all these cards now. It's like, and that's why I think consolidation is a big thing for a lot of us in 2026, because it's like, for me with the Venture X, it's like, why am I prepaying $400? Even though this card gives me positive value by booking $300 of travel through their portal every year, I could just put that $300 through any of my other cards that also have their own hotel credits and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a fatigue thing that a lot of us face this year. Isaac said, have you been to Hawaii? And if so, any tips on flight redemptions? I have not. That's on our list. So once I do it, I'll let you know. Simply Andy saying, I wish Bilt had a spinning tracker to see where you're at on the sign-up bonus. Yeah, that's what I use like Max Rewards for, or even like spreadsheets sometimes, because so much stuff is annoying to track now, and that's on purpose, right? Attacking the Nerd said, what's your favorite card you've ever owned? Mine's the old Chase Sapphire Reserve. I miss the old design and guaranteed 1.5x portal. I would agree with you. That was my favorite card too, for sure. I mean, I still like mine right now because I still get that boost until like whatever 2027 on those points I had earned. I'm probably about to run out of those though, now that I think about it. But yeah, that card was really, really good for me. And back whenever it was also powerful like that, we had a Sapphire Terrace Lounge in Austin, which I used. So that'd probably be my favorite one. LDK saying, I just got approved for the Robinhood Gold today. Congrats. 10K limit. Was on the waiting list for 3 to 4 months. Don't know how I got approved with 2 new credit cards open in the last 3. Nice. Now you got the Robinhood Platinum to look for. Mazda said, Amex, Delta, spoiled flyer, just flew AA, worst experience of my life. Yeah, unfortunately, you're not getting good valuations with Delta, but they are a better airline. So it's a tough thing. It's a trade-off for sure. But yeah, AA has some terrible experiences sometimes. I've had the worst experiences with AA, but I also fly them all the time. So I don't know. Polo said, FHR is still a great option for cash bookings. Just use it to book Nantucket for the summer. Nice. I have the Palladium, but FHR had better options. Cool. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be doing that. Like, you're going to have to start using cash more than points these days, it seems. Parallax said, what do you think Capital One needs to do to move up in credit cards S tier? Man, I made so many videos on this. I can't even think of all my rationale right now. One of my biggest things is that I don't think that for someone to be S tier, they have to have like really good optionality across the board for partners. And Capital One doesn't have that quite there yet. They have great partners. If you're flying internationally, you're good. Don't get mad. They have great partners. But for like domestic economy travelers, it's harder for me to recommend Capital One cards compared to like a Chase, for example, just because they don't have those direct domestic partners that are as powerful. And if they do have them, it's at bad redemption rates or bad transfer ratios. But yeah, I mean, they're really solid. Like they're right there. One major advantage of Wells Fargo is the ability to transfer 1 point to extend to your expiration of points, like Choice and Air France. Interesting. Oh yeah, because you don't have to do 1,000 points, you're saying? That's interesting. I actually didn't even know that. Hicks said, I'm running all my 2026 with 2 cards, Palladium and Amex Gold. Might be all I need. Yep. Ray said, are you going to keep the Sapphire Reserve? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, favorite travel card right now. I mean, I guess I am going to be comparing it with the Amex Platinum. I have the business version right now, but in Texas, I feel like the Sapphire Reserve is just better, at least where I'm at. Daniel said, I wonder what the restrictions on credit redemption are for the Platinum Robinhood Gold. They seem way too good and too much value. Maybe they're just doing market capture. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's why I'm saying don't get too excited. Wait until all the real news comes out. Ray said AA is so buns. Yeah, it kind of is, dude. Rusty said Bonvoy Boundless has a bonus tracker on the Chase app. Kind of chill of them. Yeah, that is nice. LG Spencer, what's up, man? What's going on? Said finally stayed at Hyatt over the weekend with the missus. Which card do you recommend to gain points? Kind of dead with 524. Well, which card do you recommend to gain points? I guess you were saying with Hyatt, probably. Really, the only 2 options you have now are the Chase cards or the Bilt cards or Hyatt directly. But of course, the question is whether or not you want to put too much effort into that right now with these devaluations that came into effect, which we've been talking about, the whole time, especially earlier on in the live stream. I think it's still going to be worthwhile earning more points to use with Hyatt. It's not going to be as much of a home run, But yeah, Chase and Bilt are really still your direct transfer partner access to Hyatt for now. Mazda said, I'm a frequent Hawaii visitor. The hack is the hub through Vegas. The Hawaiians called Vegas the 9th island. So many price wars between all airlines. Great redemption. Shop it early and often. Really good to know. Thanks for that. Currently watching 2 live streams at once as I finish my calc review. God, good luck. Isaac said, thoughts on the value of the Sapphire Preferred? Point multipliers are mid. Transfer points are subjected. Travel portal is overpriced, but insurance is best. Thinking moving to Citi setup. Thoughts? It comes down to transfer partners, really. It really, that's what it comes down to. Like if you're going to be if you fly AA way more than you would use your Chase points through Southwest, United, Hyatt, anything like that, then yeah, the Citi Charlotte Premier would be better. It's not really a card that you're going to be. You can use like your dining and I guess online grocery spend as well as travel spend through it, but it's not the best earning card out there. It's really more to be used just for the transfer partner access for the most part. So yeah, you just got to run the math between the setups you're deciding between, see which one nets you more points, and make sure that those points are being netted in an ecosystem that you value highly. Aiden said, just moved to Austin. Oh, welcome. What's your favorite lounge in Austin? These days I can't get into any because we don't have a Sapphire Lounge anymore, and then we don't have a Centurion Lounge or Capital One Lounge. I've been to the Delta Sky Club once with Mad Matt, who's always in the chat here. He's not here tonight, I don't think, but that was a pretty cool lounge. I mean, they have the American Airlines Admirals one. They have a United one, but I haven't been in either of those, so I guess I don't really have a favorite. If I had one, it would have to be the Delta Sky Club since that's the only one I've been to. That's still there. Travel fan, thanks for the heads up on that minimum transfer. I really didn't know about that. Chase Lie, $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Saying predictions for the premium Hyatt card. Well, I made a full predictions video actually in the past that we covered that one in pretty good detail. So I'd recommend checking that one out. But I would say that like what they need to do is give you some higher status than just the Discoverist or whatever. They need a Hyatt credit on it. I think it'd be around like the $500 annual fee range probably. Yeah, I don't know what else. Maybe it would come with like Priority Pass or something like that. But I think the annual fee should be recouped by a Hyatt Direct credit as well as status at the minimum. But thank you for that super chat. And we got a super sticker from Polo now. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you. You've already donated so much tonight, so thank you. Somebody's a little upset here. Lumen said, what will it take for you to cancel a Chase or Bilt card? Your favorite credit cards continue to get absolutely slashed, and you continue to take it while you point out the minor flaws in other lenders. That's selective hearing, first of all. If you think that I don't point out the flaws in Chase and Bilt, you've lost it, first of all. Second of all, I've canceled like 4 Chase cards over the past year. Bilt, there's no cards for me to cancel. So, yeah, I mean, I point out the flaws in all. I point out the benefits in all. If you hear it a different way, that's up to you. But, yeah, I mean, for me to cancel it, I would have to not get use out of it, right? I'm not going to cancel my oldest Chase cards because they're my oldest cards. I'm not going to cancel Bilt because they have the best earning rates. I don't know what else you'd want. Carmela said, evening, everybody. Good to see you, Carmela. Nothing about credit card here, but thought I'd check in. Been on bed rest the last few days with being sick. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's really tough. Well, I hope that you get better soon. But yeah, we're here to chat with you and hang out for a bit. I can't go too much longer tonight, but I hope that this has been valuable for you. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, but Hyatt crown has slipped a little bit. It looks like it's coming off. We'll see. I mean, it's like, yeah, what competitor will replace it? I don't know. I prefer it could be a really cool replacement, but they just don't have enough properties yet. Matt said, been subscribed for a while. I really appreciate your content over the years. Thank you for that, dude. That means a lot. Mookie said, it sucks that Bilt took away AA for a direct transfer partner. Yeah, that was right before, Citi took over, of course. Chris said, okay, Spencer, I'm interested in Wells Fargo because it's underrated and I have one near me. I'm looking at the Autograph, Attune, and maybe the Insignia. I don't even know what that one is. How many Wells cards can you have? I also don't know the answer to that, to be honest. I only have the Autograph right now. I like the Autograph and Attune for sure. I don't know what the Insignia is, but I don't know if there is a limit on Wells Fargo cards. That's a good question. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. Sharva said, what if the premium Hyatt card can guarantee you standard rates during peak times instead of super peak rates? That could be interesting. Oh, that's something else I wanted to bring up with this is that one other like small benefit that actually happened with these nerfs is the following right here. They are making 2 genuinely positive changes. First, members will be able to transfer points online. So that's really cool. Like, your player 2 could get your points transferred directly to you rather than you having to like fill out a form and stuff like that, like they used to. But they're also giving those with status, so Explorers, Globalists, Lifetime Globalists, as well as World of Hyatt credit card holders, earlier access to award availability. So you get another month to book before everyday travelers, which can be cool. I mean, yeah, if you're really trying to hunt the best properties at the cheapest rates, well, now you will want to have a Hyatt card effectively. So yeah, what Sharps was saying, like that could be a cool addition. Like if the premium card gave you locked in rates on top of basically guaranteed availability. That's kind of cool. Keith, what's going on? I was talking about you earlier, actually, with the Alaska stuff. He said, hey, Spencer, got in a bit late tonight. Any thoughts on Capital One potentially switching most of their cards to the Discover network? I don't really have any strong opinions on that right now. Somebody asked that up top, and I didn't really, again, same answer. I haven't really looked into this or have too many eggs in that basket, so I don't have a strong opinion just yet. So yeah, sorry about that, but I'm glad you're here. Here we go. Clinton said, yeah, Wells Fargo generally limits bonuses to one card every 6 months. Interesting. You have to wait out. That's interesting. I never even thought about this, Lou. Just got here after the Robinhood Gold stream. Are they really going to have a $700 annual fee card without transfer partners? I didn't really think about that. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, yeah, they are, if they're positioning it as a travel card, but don't have partners, that is a little bit odd. I mean, I guess Bank of America has done that. I don't know. Oh, Insignia is the business card. No, isn't it? Did they change the name of it? It was the Signify Business Cash. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. Simply Andy, is SoFi the only personal banking you have? I've gone through a lot. So I do a lot of bank account bonus churning. Honestly, I got so mad at a couple I did recently. US Bank being one of them, and Carrot being the other. But yeah, so I do a lot of bank account churning, but the only consistent ones I've really used, it's hard to say. So I have Ally. I used to use Ally a lot. Then I switched to SoFi for better rates. And also the fact that SoFi Savings allows you to do unlimited transactions through it every month compared to, or maybe it's not unlimited, but it's a lot. And Ally only gave you like 10. So I have all my credit card bills set up to my SoFi Savings now. So I don't have to transfer money between my savings to my checking every month like I used to. That's really nice. I have a Chase checking account as well that I've had forever. I keep the minimum in that. I just use that for cash out and stuff like that every once in a while. Yeah, I think that's it though these days. And then the other ones I get are just for churning, and I close them. Keith said, sounds great. Thanks. Great to see another big live stream. Heck yeah. I guess it has been pretty big. It's cool. Thank y'all for being here. Tyler said, glad I made it back in. Gonna have to catch up with the last of the stream later. Yeah, we're about to actually have to head out pretty soon. So we're kind of just wrapping up here, but we talked about a lot of really, I feel like this was a fun stream. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we covered a lot of good details and fun along the way. And we also broke the news of the Robinhood Platinum. First person to do that, I would imagine. I mean, it came out 6 minutes before I saw it, so that's pretty cool. Adam said, I saw somewhere that Hyatt was coming out with a Park Hyatt credit card with $700 to $800 fee. I haven't heard that at all. I would imagine it's a rumor. But yeah, I mean, they've been rumored to have a luxury Hyatt card for a long time. It just hasn't happened yet. So it could be true. I don't know. Maybe. Autocorrect did you dirty again, Chris. You said it. You're right. It's the Insignify. Autocorrect is horrible. I got you though. Don't worry. Oh yeah, Tyler. No, I don't wear glasses. These are just blue light. I get my eyes get really tired really quick, and so does my voice. Like I'm already like losing it. But yeah, that's kind of when I know it's time to go. Cool guy Sky said, how do I get to talk to you about my credit card rebuilding and credit card roadmap? In the Army, plus 80 points to about 650 in 1 month. Just need more tips. Yeah, I mean, I have consulting calls. I actually just kind of revamped that system a bit to where I'm mainly just doing miscellaneous calls these days. So not doing a full road mapping session. I need to rework how that's kind of situated right now. But we can talk about your roadmap on there. I'm just not going to provide a spreadsheet. So you come in with the questions and I come in with the answers, basically. But yeah, I still have those. They're linked in the description of all my videos. So check that out. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good place to end this. We ran through a ton today. Tyler said, good deal. My eyes are the same way. Yeah. I know. I probably need better ones. These are like $5 off Amazon, but I've used them for 5 years and they've been fine. But yeah, I think we covered a lot of stuff today that I'm really happy we got to. I hope y'all learned a lot. Basically, bottom line is that, you can come down to the bottom of this article even, is that Hyatt is effectively blowing up their award chart in May, ditching peak and off-peak pricing for a new 5-tier system that's going to make everything more expensive. So some hotels are dropping 67, others 20 to 40%, and you need to be locking in your rates now before May. They had a couple of decent news, like positive news things attached to this, but really it's pretty negative, and it does impact Chase and Bilt average valuations. I think there's still going to be value in Hyatt's ecosystem, just not as good as it used to be. They're effectively dynamic pricing now, which we all hate. So yeah, It's kind of not the best, but looks like even my camera is lagging now, so it's definitely time to go. Let me get Odin real quick. Odin. Come say hello. Look, this camera angle is great to get to see Odin. This is awesome. Come here, buddy. I need to do this camera angle more often. This is awesome. Look at this guy. We just went to the park. We had so much fun. He's lost it, dude. Alrighty. Well, I appreciate y'all watching tonight. Simply Andy here. Been killing the streams. When is the IRL coming? I know we need to do that, don't we? Yeah, we'll do that at some point. But thank y'all so much for watching. My camera's going to go out before I do. We will talk more soon. Keep an eye out for Monday's video. And yeah, got a really fun couple of collabs coming up soon. So also keep an eye out for that. Thank y'all so much, as always. And of course, we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.